I'm Jaimee.
And I'm Zia.
This is the Picture This Show, the show where we explore the possibilities in wearing your imagination. How is everyone doing today? Listen to everybody. Deborah says hello over on Facebook. Hello, Deborah. It's great to see you. All right. Well, how are things this morning?
They're good.
Good.
Been good.
Good. That's great. Your hair is super cute.
Thank you.
I like it.
I like it too.
All right. Well, hey, I'm going to run over to our browser so we can get started on today's design and theme. The very first thing over on our browser is kind of reminding us what our challenge and theme is for this week. If you are participating in our challenge and giveaway, the theme is World Emoji Day, which is July 17th. And the theme being World Emoji Day, we experimented with emojis and Play-Doh on Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of fun. And then, I was just thinking about, in terms of what to do for today. Emojis are like symbols, and we referenced like Egyptian hieroglyphics, but another form of like symbol-based art is Australian Aboriginal art. And so I wanted to kind of share some of that. I don't know if you're familiar with Australian Aboriginal art. You have an itch in your eye?
No, my hair just like went into it.
That happens. I see the hair. I see it. All right. Hopefully that's... Oh, no, there's another one. I see it.
Yep.
All right. Had to help. Anyway, so we're going to explore just a little bit of Aboriginal art. Australian Aborigines were native to Australia in kind of the same way that Native Americans are native to America before the British came and settled and all of that. So yeah, I'm really excited about the style. What do you have with you today?
We have cotton swabs.
Cotton swabs or cotton buds, whichever your preference is in calling them. We have some cotton swabs. We have some paint. We'll get to that in just a moment. I have a little video. It's about 2 minutes long that just kind of, it plays music in the background, and it goes through a few really nice Aboriginal art pieces. So I want to run over here and share that, and you can hear us talking over the top, but let's scale that up so we can look your piece of the art. But I thought it's so cool, like all the dots and the colors.
I need to lean more by you for this. No.
All the animals. And so I learned in my research about our Aboriginal art that they use these symbols and dots and lines.
I don't want to block it.
That's okay, you're fine. They use it to tell stories. Often they told stories of hunting, of their landscape, of the things they saw and did every day, and also of dreams. Often they would tell stories of their dreams. Look how beautiful is that? So I love it though, and I just think it's super neat. I really love that one. There's so much detail. And then I also learned that, a part of when the Aborigines do their artwork, they do it on things that they use every day, like boomerangs and boomerangs for hunting, or didgeridoos, which are like an instrument, and then like tree bark was they'll go hunting for days out in the wild, the open Australian outback. They'll hunt for the perfect piece of bark, or they find the right tree where they can arc the tree over and actually pull a piece of bark off, and then they have to flatten it. And the process of like flattening a piece of tree bark can take like 2 weeks, because they have to wet it and then put something heavy on it, and it flattens it out. And so they use native materials, obviously native to the land. They tell stories with symbols. And I think it's really, really neat. And so I thought it kind of tied, maybe it's a reach with emojis, but I thought it was really neat. I mean, I think we could even, try to do this style of art with the lines and dots and stuff, and even create emojis in this style if we wanted to. But, all right, so that's about all I've got there. Another thing, this is interesting and reminds me, is that the artwork is often, it's like bird's eye view, as if you were a bird looking down on the earth. And so like often,
I love how there was a thumb for one of the videos on there.
Yeah, no, that's good. A thumb. But it's often like if you were looking down, so you get like a top-down view of the animal or of a landscape or whatever. Like this looks like a brilliant sun, which is really cool. You wouldn't really be looking down on the sun, but it's really neat and I love it. And so I wanted to share that. And so we'll be working with, let's get our materials, shall we? I printed out, like we often do. So we prepared some of our little paints. I'm gonna put these in the middle. I gathered some stones. I did not spend days searching for materials out in the open outback. Instead, I went to our open backyard and I found some stones. We have some river stones, and I grabbed some river stones. And then we have some little watercolors. There's some of these are acrylic and some of these are watercolor, and we put them on our little watercolor palette.
The gray is like the droopiest one.
Zia, yeah, it's very a damp one, and those are both acrylics, and everything else is watercolor, so it's a very different textured paint. But I would love a rock. Would you mind sharing one of those rocks with me?
Emoji.
It does, the poop emoji from the other day. We have a brown. You have a brown. We were going to have you show folks what you learned today about opening paints.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Speak really loudly because you're very quiet.
I am. That is a fact.
So show it and do it under the camera so that they can see what's happening.
Mom has showed me more than I thought.
Who knew that moms know things?
The cap, you just go like that.
Wait, explain first before you do it. Okay, so when you open paints, often, if you have, so I'm just gonna, Zia learned this today and I'll have her do it, but I wanna explain while it's closed. Usually the paints are sealed with a little seal, and often we try to find a tool to open them, but very often the tool is actually designed right into the lid to open
which I just tried to do, but it didn't work.
You have to push it down almost like you're putting the cap on. But you take the cap off, you turn it over. If it's got a little pointy thing in it, there she goes, she did it. And so you just poke it right down into that metal thing as if you're putting the cap on. It takes a little pressure.
I have been lied to.
About what?
About needing scissors.
Yeah, you don't need
a
scissors.
Paintbrush.
Scissors, I find those to be much more dangerous. We'll squeeze a little of this brown because we didn't have any brown. It's funny, these look all really similar. This is black, this is blue, like a darker, or purple, sorry. This is blue, this is purple, this is black, this is brown. So those could be a little tricky to tell apart. But would you mind handing me a rock? One of our backyard rocks? So we have some paints, we have some rocks, we have some cotton swabs for our dots.
This one will be challenging because of the creases.
Oh, but look, if I turn it over, so it's got creases on one side, but maybe I could turn those creases into part of my design, because as we saw in some of those Aboriginal art examples, we saw a lot of the lines and stuff like that. So once can I show you this?
Her boomerang.
This is a boomerang from Australia. Now, I also learned in my research for Aboriginal art that often souvenirs are like mass manufactured in like Bali and Indonesia and are not in fact created by native Aborigines, even though they are often marketed as such. This was bought in Australia by my dad. My dad went to Australia in 2002 after my mom passed away. He and my mom had actually planned to go together, and then my mom passed away, but my dad went ahead and went anyway, which I thought was really beautiful. He explored Australia, New Zealand, and Fiji, and he brought back some souvenirs, and I love this. I have been to Australia a couple times, only Melbourne. I've been to Melbourne a couple times to speak as a conference speaker, and I've loved my experiences. I have some great experiences from the city of Melbourne. But the dots and the lines, the animals, I was thinking of doing a lizard because we have so many lizards in our backyard.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe I would paint a lizard on a stone and then like put it on one of our templates. I printed out templates and the ink was low on our templates or on our printer, and so the picture of this clothing didn't print out at the top, but usually it says, at the top of these, it says picture of this clothing. But I thought that was kind of funny because our our printer. We print so many things, I swear. But yeah, usually it says picture this clothing at the top, but the black ink is running low, and that's okay. It's all right. We'll just make do with what we have today. Look, I could do a picture of cotton swabs. Anyway, would you like to do a shirt, a beanie, a dress? What would you like to design on today?
I have no idea.
A face covering? How
I
about
think a face covering.
All right. a face covering? Here, you go with the face covering. I'm gonna do a t-shirt today, and I've hollowed mine out so that I can just lay it right over a finished design. And Z, I also grabbed some colored paper in case you want a background. Like, I thought that the brown might make a nice like pretend tree bark if you wanted a tree bark background, or if you wanted to do, I'm gonna do a little bit of both. I'm gonna try some yellow.
I have an idea that would be cool.
What?
Try tree bark.
What you
We
got?
have the charcoal and we can rub it.
Oh, that would be really cool. You are welcome to do that. I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna reference this lizard in mine. I know we get a little bit of a glare. Let's grab this rock that looks
I'm
like
gonna
a
see if I
sweet
can do
potato.
a cat.
Okay, yeah. See if you can do a cat. I'm gonna try to prop this up. Are you going to use a rock for your design?
Yeah.
I am too. I'm gonna go like this because I thought that might make a cute design. And so I can position that any way I want after I paint. But I'm gonna try a lizard, and I have a Sharpie.
I was gonna paint on the rock.
Yeah, I am going to too. I don't know if you need to draw on it first. There's paint pens there. If you would like to use some paint pens.
See if I can do this.
All right.
I don't know if I should do it on the table.
I know, I'm kind of like, ugh.
It's like I need to pick it up.
I'm going to try, I'm looking at I'm gonna make a smaller lizard than the one I see there. I know a turtle is a lot of fun too, and a turtle, you know, if you've got little ones at home, a turtle might be one of the most fun ones, and I'll give you a quick way to make a turtle. If you're gonna do a turtle, think of letters, right? There's like an O for an oval, a nice oval, and then the letter U for a head, kind of a big letter U. You can also do little letter U's for their legs, and then a V for their tail. And then you have a really cool turtle, and then what you can do is get your paint and go around it in the dots.
Oh, you can see it a lot more than I thought you could.
Yeah, that looks great. Oh, you have paint pens over there if that's easier to work with, my dear. Anyway, and then just the dot style. I'm using my cotton swabs here. I'm getting dots of all different thicknesses. So if you have little ones, this might be a really fun, the turtle is a really simple one to try. You do a turtle. Simple and fun. And it gets a little bigger. What are you working on over there?
A cat.
Oh yeah, the cat. We do cats a lot, huh?
Yeah.
And so my basic outline of the little legs falls outside the little template a bit, but that's okay. I have my general guide.
See, I can't see it, so I'm using the camera
Okay.
to like.
Yeah. So there's my little turtle start. I want to go back and work on my my lizard though, real quick, on a rock. A lizard on a rock. Lizard on a rock. All right, I'm gonna put that up there in case folks want to do something like that though. So, all right, let's see. My little lizard. I'm gonna go like this. He's got like a little arms. They always have one up and one down. His little body. Just give them, they have like really sharp claws on their little pictures. And markers are actually a great way, I think, if you wanted to do the drawings this way as well. We do have tons of lizards in our backyard, though. I love them. I think that they're so cute. They eat all the little bugs. I have kind of a funny leg here, so I might just kind of work with that a little bit. But there's my basic outline, and I could go ahead and just fill him all the way in with a marker, right? So that I've got that like solid black.
Now that I've destroyed the pen.
Yeah. Why don't you try the paint pens over there? Or move them in and I'll try some paint pens. But the cotton swabs are great if you don't have paintbrushes, and they're good for just making pretty, fairly uniform dots. I think is pretty cool. But something to think about too, if you explore the art and the Aborigine style, we talked a little bit about it's storytelling, right? And like with the emojis, whether you're doing emojis or you're just creating, maybe I'm gonna tell a story of the lizards in our backyard. They bask in the sun all the time, like all day long. They're in the sun waiting for their little meal.
That was kind of cute.
I like that. See, I'm using a Sharpie, and I feel like my Sharpie looks really awesome. Look at. What do you think of my Sharpie?
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
The one with a real thick leg on one side. Boop, 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 and boop, 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 boop. And then I can start doing some of the dots and lines and things with the paint and the paint colors. You're using, oh, see, that looks really good. So you have the paint pens that we used a couple times ago for something. We bought some paint pens. They're not the fabric marker. We bought them when we bought fabric markers, and we were experimenting with fabric markers. So yeah, all right. So this is really, really kind of neat. I'm excited about this. I am also, oh yeah, I talked about the lizards kind of basking in the sun. And so I want to try kind of daubing my, I have a paper straw, and I want to daub it in some yellow paint and just see if I can get kind of an interesting, I don't know if it'll be too much, but see if I can get like an interesting little sun to tell a story. Tell the story of the lizards in the sunlight. I need a paper towel. I do this every time, I swear. I'm like, uh-oh, I need a paper towel. I have a piece of paper anyway. I can smear my finger on. All right. All right. You'd think by now I'd be prepared, more prepared. All right, and then in order to get like smaller dots, because I want to put like little eyes on him, like I see in my example, my boomerang example, I'm gonna break off the cotton bud part, the little cotton portion of it, so it's just the stick. So see, I've broken that down, and then I can kind of go like this. Whoa, Zia, that's really neat. And it's good to have a spare piece of paper so you can kind of see how your things are gonna land, right? I almost want to do what Zia's doing with her paint pens. Boop. Boop. Yay. All right. He has a little tongue sticking out too. Like a little dragon tongue almost. Oh, I just blurried it. I blurried it. It didn't work great. I wonder if I can actually wipe that off. I'll have to put some more white in the background because my little mess up. One of the things with watercolor too, you can actually like wipe it off with a damp cloth if you're working on a stone. So that's pretty cool. I think I might make his little tongue actually be black. Like that.
That looks pretty.
That looks really nice, see? I like your little painting. Bring those paint pens on in here. I want to try some of those. I've actually never used these paint pens before. Have you?
No. They're the Sharpie ones. We actually have with the other one that we did.
What do we have?
I did the white paint pen.
Okay, my red doesn't show up super good like on the black, so let's see how it shows up. First, I'm gonna see how it shows up over here. Oh, that actually looks really neat over here. Now I know often something I learned too, when they have the animals, they have these like lines and dots behind. It's like the desert sand or whatever, and the tracks of the animal, and it's like a hunting story. And so I thought that was really interesting to learn about. Let's see, white. Let's see how this goes. And with paint pens, you often have to get the paint squished down in there to come out before it starts actually showing up. So you want to do that a few times. The little trigger on the paint pen goes in like that. All right. Make sure they are well shaken. If that ends up not showing
Those are
up,
some really thick. No, I did wrong.
that's okay. Whiskers.
Yeah.
You could turn the background into white and then give him black whiskers on top or something like that, or a different color. That's the thing I find, like when you mess up on stuff, sometimes you just go with it and see what happens. But yeah, I wanted to experiment a little bit with, see if I can get the yellow to work out. You and me both with the there we go. I got the yellow one to come out now. All right, and so I'm gonna do, and I'll probably go back over this. Once the colors dry a little, you can go back to embolden them a little bit. So I think I want to make one big dot for my son now. I was going to try to do an outline, but it didn't work super well. All right, and then my son, and then we also have a pond with fish in the back. So maybe I'll do a little bit of blue. Like this could be a little more of the earth, and then, oh, you know what? With my blue,
I need to pick this up.
I'm gonna just see if I can make a bunch of dots, like, yeah, oh, like that. It's like they all have these little air pockets in them. It's funny. So I'm making like water. My little blue is going to represent the water of our pond outside. And then also kind of interesting, if I go out and like spray, every once in a while I'll go out and just spray the garden. Like we have plants back there, and most of them are on an automated watering system. But sometimes I'll go out and just give them a little bit of extra water. And the lizards, when I do that, all of the bugs start to climb the wall, and it's like a automatic feast for the lizards. And I feel badly about the little bugs, but I guess that's nature, huh? But yeah, I think it's kind of fascinating to watch the lizards, though. They just wait whenever the water, if it rains even, the lizards don't seem to mind the rain unless it's really bad. Then they hide in their little shelters. But yeah, I'm gonna add some darker blue here. I think this was that. Darker blue. I'll add in between.
And then you find out it isn't the darker blue.
It is the darker blue. I did it. Cotton swabs are challenging to work with. Whoever recommended the cotton swabs, what were you? No, it's fine. The cotton swabs are interesting. They're just a lot more challenging for me. I want more precise dots, and I find that the cotton swabs are...
Cotton swabs are hard to do.
They're hard, huh?
That's why I'm making a white background in the first place, which I did not want.
Yeah, that's okay though. And I had a little trouble with my my white with the cotton swab as well. I was trying to, make like a little bit more of a defined mark, but you can. They're great if you want to fill in space though, right? Maybe I'll make some clouds up here. I don't know.
But it's also like, I wish my background was just rock.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. I hear you on that. I'm going to try this. I'm going to outline just part of him. Well, that worked pretty neatly. Okay. Always experimenting. We can always go back and do it again on a new rock. Oh my gosh, do you know what I just did? I stuck my hand in my dots on the other side, so I got smudgy dots now. Be careful. Be careful. All right, I never said I was a clean artist.
I'm a pretty clean artist.
Are you? I was always very messy. I have to say, like when I was in art school, I always had charcoal. Like I swore that I was never going to get it out of like the creases and cracks in my hands. But yeah, it was interesting. Right.
Most of the time, yeah, I'm pretty. Unless it's like in school, but.
So yeah, I have my water, my sun, my ground.
I'm gonna fix the cat outline next.
Yeah, no, that's.
I just need to wait for the background to dry.
And so, you know, and I think what's great here is just the experimentation of it. And, you know, like I would love to see somebody use emojis to tell a story. I think that would be really neat. I would also love to see your different Aboriginal art inspired designs. Maybe tell a story about if you have creatures in your yard, birds, lizards, bugs, anything like that. Zia's doing one of a cat. And I think there's just so much possibility here of stuff that you can do. I don't have any grass in my yard. We live in the desert in Las Vegas. We don't have actual grass. We have a little patch of fake grass. We have a few trees and some flowers and stuff, but I was thinking I would like to put some green on here just for the color contrast. I think it would be nice. So I am going to work with a little bit of green here. We'll pretend I have grass and I'll do lines. Like if I had grass, it would look like this. And I'll make use of some of those lines that I saw in some of the Aboriginal art, which I thought were real neat. Something we learned about a couple weeks back when we learned about Aaron Douglas, he used concentric circles a lot, and we made some concentric shapes. Not just circles, he did concentric shapes. So we saw some of his examples use stars, and it was like really small, and then it would, you know, gradiate larger and larger, and it would help draw a focal point here or there. And so
I made a little line right there.
I really like that, Z. I think that's beautiful. Maybe I should work on this sweet potato shaped rock. It looks like a big sweet potato to me, or baked potato of some sort. This is a stone from our backyard, but something I was thinking of was that use of concentric shape. Let's take this one because the flatter ones are a little bit easier to work on. But something that you can do to experiment with that is just work with circles and working your way.
It looks so much better in the camera.
Working your way out. I think it looks really good. Look at, let's move it up, and how would this work on a design? Look at something like that Zia could create on. This is one of our face covering templates. So something like that could look really neat. And you could actually design the whole background on another color. It would help it pop out more even. So that's pretty sweet. But yeah, I'm going to work with concentric circles here for a second.
Done.
Good. Keep going. We're going to keep going.
How did you take the cotton off?
I broke the stick.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the easiest way. And then my circles are going to get bigger. I'll go out a certain amount. And if you want your circles to be exact, you can use something like a template. Like we did last time, you can outline a glass or outline, you know, we had glasses of different sizes when we did the Aaron Douglas tutorial. So if you're curious about how we did some nicely spaced, really good precision, more precision concentric shapes, go ahead and look back at our Facebook videos for the Aaron Douglas episode, and we kind of demonstrate that a little bit better.
I gave him yellow eyes.
But yeah, I thought this one was really fun. Ooh, I like that, like a Halloween cat. But I'm experimenting with just the use of concentric circles right now. And then you can use another color and go in
brown
and do in between. And again, I'm doing dots, but I think I'm gonna try like also some lines. Like maybe you do some lines.
I did what you did last time with paint pens.
What was that?
Got it on the table.
That's cool. We learned that when we got it on the table last time, when I got it all over the table last time, we learned that it comes off, so it's not a crisis. All right. And then, so I'm doing something like that, just trying to kind of connect my lines and dots, or my dots with lines. I have to say this is a lot of fun, and you know what, there's something just about being creative that's just therapeutic. It's fun. Kind of gets you out of, if you've been in a funk at all lately with all the quarantining and craziness. I find that this is it's fun. It's a fun way to kind of just get out of your head, get creative, maybe put your emotions out into it, into whatever it is you're making. Great way to just kind of get a little stress relief. You can really get lost in doing designs like this for a long time. I don't think that it's easy. I mean, it's easy from a sense of it's just dots and lines, but to make them as precision and beautiful as some of those examples that we looked at, that is stunning. How do you do it? Every time. Every time. I swear, you make something that's so awesome.
Not really.
Not really. Modest, too. No, I really think, Z, that they're quite awesome. I love that color, by the way, that you just added. All right, let's see. I'm going to add some yellow. I'll start putting these back. I would like to experiment with that color at some point. I love the green. The green looks really nice. So here, I'm just experimenting, going around and around and around. And I'm going to go put these back in our backyard when we're done, too, because I think that adds a little fun and color to a yard. But before I do that, I'll definitely figure out what kind of shirt I'm gonna make. So, well, look, we could do all kinds of stones. We could make it a completely stone-based shirt. Check that out. Can I add your stone for a second? Yeah. I know you're not completely done, so Zia would probably want to do more. But just for the sake of example, check this out. Like, look at the kind of thing you can create with your shirt. Oh my goodness, and I could take a picture of that, and then it's like a whole family of stories. I love it.
We have no cats in here.
We have no cats in here today. This is true. I'm going to move that up so we can see it. That looks super good. Look at, we could do a paint pen shirt. Well, my dear, I think, do you want to keep going until you're completely done? Because I think yours is like the most amazing thing. I want to try something real quick here while you're going. I want to see if I have another face covering template.
I think that looks kind of cool.
Ooh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take one of our Lisa beanie templates and I'm going to hollow it out real quick. Sorry about that.
I'm just like,
I'm going to hollow it out real quick because be careful if you're hollowing things out that you don't hurt yourself. When I hollow things out, I try to cut like halfway between the gray line, like cut the gray line in half. That way I don't have any white poking into my design, and anything that lands on or outside the gray outline will get cut off in your design anyway. So I just cut about half of it off, and I don't worry if the very, very edge of whatever it is I create gets slightly cut off. But I do this because I love to be able to do like a layover sometimes. And when I say layover, something that I think will look really cool with what Zia's doing is, I'm going to move my brown paper way up there. Zia, you're so good at this. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. So my little turtle over there, when she is done, so paint pens kind of ended up being the winning medium for this, huh? We experimented with watercolors and acrylics. We experimented with Sharpie and with paint pens during this today's episode. And it seems like we both kind of kept gravitating toward the paint pens. I know for me, I like the paint pens because I feel like I have more control over what I'm putting down. And, you know, depending on your skill level or your desired outcome, that could be more or less appealing for you, having more control over the precision of the dots and lines and things. I mean, look at Zia's amazing example. I'm going to take this for just a second and show you. So what I've done is hollowed out one of our Lisa beanie templates by cutting out the center. It'll be a hat eventually. And so it'll be a hat. And then I used a solid color of construction paper because I really think our solid colored stuff, when you go seam to seam with a solid color or bright colors, I really think the end product turns out way better. And then I'm going to put this like right down at the bottom because that's the part that shows. Like this, it's kind of a slouchy beanie design. So I think, I was looking to see if I had any in here. I don't. But it's kind of a slouchy design. So most of the design that shows down here ends up like right on your head, like here. And then this part is kind of like slouchy in the back. So I tend to put most of my, like whatever I find to be the most like design centric focal point down here. And like that, it is gonna get cut off like right about here where the gray line is. So I wanna make sure, if you're really concerned about where that gray line is, you can kind of lift, do that. And then you just take a smartphone photo, and here I'll show you. So you'll take a smartphone photo of your design like this. You want to get as close as you can to the design without cutting any of it off. And let's move this up so maybe you can see a little bit better. So with your smartphone, so we have really good lighting in here. We're not picking up a lot of shadows and stuff like that. And so once you have it like nice and centered in there, take a few pictures, and before, especially if you're using 3D stuff, take a few pictures and be sure to sign your name on it. Will you sign your name, Zia, in like that bright pink color so we can kind of show? So always be sure to design, then sign your name, and you can use like a complementary color. Sign nice and big and bold like Zia is doing. You can put your first name only, your first and last name, Zia. Sometimes, I'm gonna do this real quick just to show sometimes what I'll do is I'll put like my first name and then something like a heart, because that'll get printed in there too. If it's big and clear, that can get printed in there too. So yeah.
I love how even the color is with paint pens.
Yeah, paint pens are awesome. I've really never worked with paint pens, I'm gonna be honest. This is kind of a first time for me. So I'm gonna go like this again. I'm gonna make sure when I get my photo, my smartphone photo, I get nice and close and I include that signature in there. And if you're concerned about shadows or anything showing up, if you get that, you can take a picture of the art without the template, nice and close, so that we get a really good high resolution shot. And then if we reach out and need alternate photographs, you can send us the one without the template, and we can usually work with that and make it awesome. And we'll have the one with the template from you, and so that we can reference like what placement that you wanted. But yeah, we can work with that. So I'm gonna show you. Zia, this is beautiful. Yay! And I know you wanted to do a face covering, so that's another beauty of using the template is you can transfer it from one thing to another. We could ultimately make a t-shirt out of that as well, which I think I kind of want to do. I love the way her little decorated stone worked out. All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Zia's gonna keep working on hers for a little while, but we want to say thank you. Thank you always for joining us, for your hellos today during our live stream. Today's Thursday, so tomorrow, if you haven't already created something for our giveaway, the giveaway deadline for this week is tomorrow. We're giving away a gift certificate. We do this every week on Sunday. We announce the challenge and the giveaway, and then your entry is due by Friday. We have our little thing here, how to enter. You print free templates from picturethisclothing.com, design and sign as we have demoed today. You will email a smartphone photo of your entry to hello@picturethisclothing.com tomorrow, Friday the 17th by midnight is when we need your entries by, and we will do a random drawing on Sunday, July 19th to announce the winner. And this week's theme is World Emoji Day. So we would love to see how you present your World Emoji Day theme. If you want to try something inspired by some of those techniques we learned today. Super cool.
Oh, we're on this. Thank you.
We're on the thank you. And no worries. And let's move yours over here because how cool is that? I love it.
It's a starry night cat.
It is like a starry night cat. I love it. I love it. Well done, kiddo. All right, we're going to sign off and say goodbye. Likes and thank yous are always appreciated. Subscribe if you're not subscribing. If you like our videos and want to watch them more regularly, like our Facebook page. If you're watching, yeah, subscribe,
following,
subscribes, follows, likes,
everything.
friends, all of the things.
Shares.
So, we're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram.
We're everywhere.
And also on Twitch. So yeah, and you just look up Picture This Clothing and you'll find us. All right. We'll see you later.